Hello. Welcome to Sunday's Best. We've got a good one for you tonight. We're continuing on our series of work, women, wisdom, and wealth. And we're going to do a brief review before we get started. And I trust that you've had a great weekend thus far, and that something that I'll say will help you to get through the week and make it very productive. All right. Was out in the pollen a little bit today, showing some property, but hopefully you can hear me well and I can get through the next 30 minutes or so without sneezing or tearing up at the eyes. But anyway, welcome to Sunday's Best, as I said. Tonight's topic is going to be on wisdom. But we're going to review. Last week, we had a great session. We had a lot of comments, and I want that to continue. We had some contests. We had some winners, and you will be receiving your prizes this week. Let's see. Last week, we had great participation because I listened to what it was that how you responded to the question. And the question from last week was, what words of wisdom would you share with a young woman today or a young lady today? What words of wisdom would you give? And all of these questions came from the audience. So before we get started, with a repeat, I want you to put those dollar signs up. It's becoming more and more interesting and exciting that we are actually doing something positive during this pandemic, something positive. For some of us, it'll be the first time that we said we saved nearly $5,000 in a year. And when someone said, how did you do that? You could pull out your chart and said, steady plotting brings prosperity. Yeah, that's in the Bible. Little by little, you add it to your account, and it's going to be well worth it. You will be proud of yourself. All right. So last week it said staying focused would be some advice that you would give. Never give up your dream. Stay focused and never give up your dream. Keep striving for what your heart's desire is in life. Never give up and never give in. Love yourself. Take good care of yourself. Manage your money and manage your life. Number 4, choose your friends carefully. Keep a small circle of like-minded people. Know that you are beautiful, that you're wonderfully made, and don't apologize for having some wins in life. You don't have to apologize. You don't. When people tell you you're nothing, know that you're everything. God has made you. Know that you're everything God has made you to be. Respect yourself. Be sure to establish a personal relationship with the Lord Jesus Christ. Know your worth and pray, and pray some more. Don't let others instill their fears in you or tell you what you're not capable of doing. You've got to believe in yourself, and you've got to do something every single day to make sure that you are tracking and that you're on the right track. Have goals for your life. They don't have to be perfect because you'll never be perfect. The outcome will never be perfect, but they will never be anything unless you, number 1, see the vision, write the goal out, give it a timeline, and hold yourself accountable for accomplishing that goal. The other thing that we asked the question of, it said, if you're over 60, and you didn't have to be over 60, if you're on this call or on this session, what activities or hobbies do you recommend? Last week we had walking. Someone desired to ride a horse. Women wanting to start a card playing group, playing spades or bid whist. A gardening club. Forming an investment group for legacy building. Attending dance classes, aerobics, and joining a travel club. So if you have anything else that you want to add to that list, by all means, put it in the chat and we will definitely talk about it. So tonight, it's going to be rather brief. We're going to talk about the fact that women, we tend to nourish, take care of everybody. It's just in our genes, our makeup to do that. But what it says here is, back in March of last year, I asked the question, what are you most proud of being a woman? What makes you so proud to be a woman? And we got lots of answers. And we talked about the fact that T.D. Jakes had a session called Woman, Thou Art Loose. Thou art loose to be almost anything, anything you can soar. There's no limit on what you can become. There have been times when we've been held back because, and maybe oppressed because of our gender. But women are making, they're in the race. They're loose and they're soaring and they're making history. And our theme for the year is You Can Do It. Women, you are worthy. You are magnificent. You are amazing. You are protectors. You're loving. You're kind. And people will find a way to get a chair at their table with the right woman, with the right attitude, and the right vision. So we're going to talk a little bit about wisdom. Wisdom is defined as the quality of having experience, knowledge, and good judgment, the quality of being wise. And there are wise men like Solomon, who was recorded as being the wisest man in the Bible, but he was also recorded as being one of the most foolish. He's credited with writing Proverbs, my favorite book of the Bible, Songs of Solomon, Psalms, and Ecclesiastes. Queen Sheba, was known as being one of the wisest women in the world. And though I didn't do an in-depth study, it said that she journeyed over 1,200 miles to hear and see King Solomon, the wisest man, so that she could test his wisdom and test his knowledge. I don't know how that turned out, but that was interesting. And the point there is you have to seek out people that have what it is that you seek in life. You're looking to wisdom. After you look to the Bible as a source, what other books, what other things, what other people, what other places are you looking to gain knowledge? And women, because we are and try to be everything to everybody, we talked about self-preservation, we talked about self-help, and tonight we're going to talk about using wisdom. And so I'm going to repeat a little bit of a topic that we discussed about 2 years ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. So you may want to write these 5 things down. It says 5 types of people that you cannot help. It is our nature to help. We are helpers. With our children, with our spouses, with our family, with people we love, with people that we hardly know sometimes. If they seem like they have a problem, we want to use the wisdom that we have to help them. So I listened to a video a couple of years ago, and the minister was preaching this from a different angle. But I thought, since it was Women's Month, and we've come a long way, but we have a long way to go. So we want to be able to continue as women to offer insight to benefit others. A lot of times when you try to help people, you suffer rejection because they don't want your help. The 5 people that it says that you cannot help is, number 1, the person or the people who are blind. They don't think they need help. It's hard. It's a struggle when people decide to live recklessly and to think that they don't need any help. So when we put our time and energy, so much time and energy, into helping somebody that doesn't know, they don't know that they need help, it frustrates us, and it can cause you to become bitter instead of better. Number 2, the number 2 person that you can't help are the people who know they need help, but they don't want it. They know they need it, but they don't want it. The 3rd person is the person that doesn't want it yet. I still want to sow my wild oats. I still want to burn the candle at both ends. I know I need to make an adjustment. I know I need to do something different. I'm just not ready to do it yet. And so when you try to assist that person, you're fighting against the grain. You're going against the grain. Number 4 person that you can't help is the people who want it, but they don't want it from you. You may be the hometown hero or shero. You may be, they may be too familiar with you. So they don't think that you've been anywhere. They don't think that you have the experience or that you have the wisdom to teach them. So it's hard. It's very hard for you to help these kind of people. The 5th type of person you can't help is the person who don't want it, who don't want to do what it takes to get help. It's one thing, number 1, not to know you need help. Number 2, not to need it, not to want it yet, and not to want it from particular people. But when you don't want to be helped because you don't want to do what it takes to get help, you got to throw in the towel on a person like that, because that person will it will cause you not to want to help other people. And we don't want to get sore. We don't want to be bitter. We don't want to be sour. We don't want to block our blessing because we don't know when to recognize the people that we can help and can't help. And we try to help people in different seasons of their life. Say, for instance, if you're in your 70s, you can, or 60s, and somebody's in their 20s or 30s, whether they be a young lady that you know, or whether it's your granddaughter, or whether it's your daughter, your niece, um, you can tell them a few things about life, because you have lived a while and you have experienced some things. Remember, I said that wisdom is defined as being wise, as having the quality of experience, of knowledge, and the ability to use good judgment. So I want you to search yourself and figure out some things that you have learned wisdom wise. And then I want you to share that information with another woman. Um, in certain seasons, we're growing. In other seasons, we're maturing. Sometimes they come together. Oftentimes, it's what we go through that causes us to mature and gain wealth and insight and experience from a particular ordeal that we have or a challenge that we've gone through in life. So, if you're in your 30s or 40s, you got to be able to share something with someone that can help them avoid the potholes in life, that will keep them from going around the same mountain for 40 years. So be willing to share. Be willing to, first of all, invest in yourself. Self development. Self development. I can't say it enough. If I retained the information or even a chapter of all the information I have in the books that are in my library, I would be one wise person, because I have always been a reader. Always, always. And so self development. Read a good book. Put something that you learn from that good book, or listening to a YouTube or podcasts or whatever. We have a lot of different ways that you can do that now. So have something to share. Find a person to mentor. If you need a mentor, find a mentor. If you need a coach, find a coach. Hire a coach. Listen to a coach. A coach will help you bring out your best attributes. And we know you got some wisdom in there. And so a good coach is going to be able to leave you feeling good, on the right path, excited about your next level, and collaboration. Talk things over with people. Choose your circle carefully, but talk things over. You learn that way. You learn because no one person has all the answers. Network, network, network. So I want to hear from you some wisdom nuggets, and I'm going to look down the screen to see if there's some things that you in particular want to share about nuggets. But in closing on this one, know that you can't help everybody, because there are different types of people, and different types of people have to be dealt with wisdom and discernment. When you're being rejected by people, just know that there's someone else out there that you can help. It hurts to be rejected. And when I say rejected, I didn't think about when you're trying to help somebody and they won't let you help. I just used to say, well, they don't want me to help them. But it causes rejection. And the human body can only take so much rejection. So since we are women who love helping, I thought it would be wise for you to know when enough is enough and when you need to turn it off and lift them up in prayer, just like with our children or any other situation. You have to know when you've done everything that you can do and when it's time for you to pray for God to do the rest for them. sometimes it's hard, it's very hard, sitting on the sideline watching a person fail, or watching a person not do, um, not operate in their purpose, or watching a person not become all that you know that they can be. That can be very hard. But there are times when we do have to move on for our own uh, mindset, and for our own the word escapes me right now, but for our own sanity, we have to move on. Women, we must realize that it's okay to listen, it's okay to help, it's okay to help your children, it's okay to help your friends, it's okay to help your coworkers, but not um, to the point where you're miserable, you're carrying a problem around that nobody, that the person that you're trying to help doesn't see as a problem, and they're not ready to solve that problem, and you keep pounding and pounding and pounding, and they don't even want you to help them. You know, there are people that would rather hate the helper. And when you're there to help, they think that I mean, it's just like a dog. They may bite you because they think that you're there to hurt. So you got to know when to say when. So I'm going to see who we have on, and make sure you put your dollar signs up. And let's see. Um, all right. Gloria Moore is on. It looks like Diane Jackson. Sandra Ellison is watching. Kim Weiss. Rima. Barbara Brown says good evening. Vivian says good evening. Ashley Hannah, dollar sign, which is great. Gloria Moore. Let's see. Two heads are better than one, and that comment is from Diane Jackson. Networking is so important. That is from Vivian. And Lavinia says, good evening. She's excited. She has 3 exclamation points. And Genevieve Burgess, a couple of these are popping back up. So if I repeat, please forgive me. Miss Annie Wilson says good evening. Sandra Ellison, my sister, says taking to older people. Up, looks like my screen is frozen. Taking to older people is a good thing. Senior, Genevieve Burgess says senior people are the most time are who we should spend most of our time with. Our parents and older people shared good wisdom. It's good to spend time with them and listen. Latita says, understand that we cannot do life alone. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. Absolutely. Barbara Brown and Gloria Moore have paid themselves this week. And let's see. Okay. I may have missed a few, but believe me, I'll go back in and check. And so what I want to leave you with is, women, we are so much needed in this world. not we make the world turn, and as the world turn, we need to be using our gifts and our skills to show the maker, the creator of this body, that we appreciate, we are grateful, that we are women, and that we're wonderfully made. All right? And part of that making is that we must learn from our past mistakes. That's wisdom. We must learn from our past experiences. That's wisdom. We must learn, as Genevieve and as Sandra said, from our elders. That's wisdom. And legacy, when we talk about legacy, we tend to think about the tangible things, the monetary things, the money that we will leave. But there are some elderly people that can leave some stories with you that'll leave you scratching your head. We took a quick trip down to King Street with my mother on Friday, and two of my sisters and I. And just listening and talking. My mom is almost 90 years old, and we were talking about things and people that she knew when she was a child. And then we went over to visit my aunt, who is 95 years old, and we didn't have to tell her our names. She knew her sister. She knew we were her sister's children, and she just started talking to us. So, sit down at the feet of some elderly people, and it'll do you good. And we recently lost, as I said to my nephew yesterday, I lost two of my best men in less than 8 months, less than 6 months. My uncle, CJ, was about to be 96, and I lost my husband. And there's some things, some wisdom things that I would ask my husband, how did you know how to do that? Who taught you how to do that? And a lot of times he would say, my Uncle Cleo. Or my Uncle CJ, I mean, he always had a story for you from the family or from the community or from his work days or his farm days or lessons he learned along the way. So wisdom is very, very, very important. Learn it from whomever you can. Use as much of it as you can. Share as much as you can. And you know what? It will enhance your life. There is no need in making mistakes that you can avoid. You can make success in the time that you take to stump your toe, bump your head, when if only you would sit down and listen to a person of wisdom. Now, King Solomon, though he was regarded as one of the richest men, he also was responsible for writing most of Proverbs, Psalms, Ecclesiastes, all of these things. He is known for using his wisdom. And when somebody like the Queen Sheba comes a long way just to test your wisdom, that's telling of itself. So have a great week. We're ending up on time tonight. Share this conversation with someone that you meet this week. Have a great week. Have a great night. Have a great week. Have a great rest of the month. And you know what? Just go on and have $1 million life. Good night. Sunday's best to you.